This week we are going to be working on homographs, which is somewhat similar to the homophones that you were studying last week. Remember, my advice is always to go ahead and put your name on your paper because I am giving this to every fourth grader. And today is 12/10/18. So our focus for this week is homographs. Last week we focused on homophones. What's a homophone? Absolutely. They're spelled differently and they have different meanings, but when you say them, they sound the same. Homographs are actually words that are spelled the exact same. As you can see, prune and prune, desert, desert, grouse, grouse, bass, bass, or base, base, depending, sewer and sewer. So it's the same word, spelled the same, but it has multiple meanings, okay? So go ahead and circle the word pairs. Homograph. A homograph is a word that is spelled the same as another word but has a different meaning and sometimes a different pronunciation. A prune is a dried plum. When you prune something, you trim it. Okay, so I could eat a prune, that's a dried plum, or I could prune the bushes outside of my house to where I trim them. If you desert someone,
you leave that person.
You leave that person. It has nothing to do with chocolate cake or cookies, right? Not that. I'm sorry, that's dessert. Not. If you desert someone, yes, dessert. And this one is desert. So you have desert and desert, where the E is long when you leave a person. A desert is a region with little rainfall. Desert is spelled with two M. Dessert that you eat is spelled with two S's. So you have desert and desert. Okay, grouse. A grouse is a kind of fish. Oh, I'm sorry, a kind of bird. I underlined the wrong thing. A kind of bird. A bass is a... Nope. A bass is a kind of fish. So you have a grouse that's a kind of bird and a bass that's a kind of fish. The low singing voice of a man is a bass. So you have bass and bass, but they're spelled the same. Someone who sews is a sower. A sewer is a
pipe for carrying away waste.
Right. So you have sower, someone who sews, and sewer, a pipe for carrying waste. So we had the grouse. It's a kind of a bird. The match to it is this. If you grouse, you complain. Part A says read each sentence and circle the correct word. And you've got to tell how it sounds, okay? So would this be
A.
Bass or bass? There's a long A there, okay? So you got to pay attention to that. For part B, you're going to write a vocabulary word for each underlined word or words. The gardener will clip the bushes. You're finding a synonym for clip. We're not going to do the answers. Go ahead and put do, Tuesday, which is 12/11/18. For the next sheet, you're going to write do, Thursday, which is going to be 12/13/18. Remember up here we always say use context clues. You really shouldn't get too many of these wrong because none of them are spelled differently. Some of them are just said differently. You pronounce them differently. Okay? So it's really almost like you only, for this side, you're going to use each word twice, but prune, one of them is going to be the plum, dried plum you can eat, and the other prune is going to be when you trim something. All right?